First thing is you're going to need a camera, right? So I'm using right now the Nikon Z6 Mark III, and as long as your Nikon camera has an HDMI port, it's going to work just fine. It really honestly doesn't matter when you're live streaming or doing a virtual call. It's already going to boost up the quality to that amazing, beautiful level, or more of a cinematic level, just by using a camera versus the built-in camera of the laptop or your cell phone or something like that. First thing is I'm going to show you the settings that I personally use when I want to use my Nikon as a webcam. So let's start off with the basics, right? We're going to go through, I have it on H.265, that's just me, but I'm just telling you what I have. And then I'm going to switch this to, 1080-24. If your capture card can do 4K, switch it to that if you feel like it. Then I'm gonna go down here, auto. I always keep it at the auto. That's just me. And then from here, I actually go to neutral. I don't use standard. And then I come down. I keep going, and then area focus, AFF. And then one thing I do is turn off face detect. Okay, that's just me, but I always turn off face detect, but I keep the audio focus area on wide, concentrating on me, so it doesn't bounce back and hit try to focus on a photo in the background or something. That's why I turn off the face detect as well. Everything else doesn't really matter a whole lot because I'm going to be using, well, we'll get to sound in a second, okay? And then after that, we are good to go there. Then the other thing is you want to turn off your screensaver mode or power saving mode. Okay, because otherwise your screen will keep turning off, and then, well, your live stream will look like you're dropping all the time. So we're going to go through and put power off delay and put it on your standby, all the way down to no limit. So there, it just stays on the entire time. This will stay on. That's very important, okay? Make sure you do that. And then, as I said, go to face detect and make sure it's, or subject detect, and make sure it's off. The last thing I want to mention about settings here, your actual camera settings, it's going to vary depending on the maximum aperture lens that you are using, as well as the lighting condition in your room or whatever it is, the space that you're using to use your camera as a webcam. So currently I have it at ISO 800, but I try to go as low as possible and then raise up accordingly. Usually I don't go above 640 for ISO, and the aperture I always try to make it as open, wide open as possible. So f2.8 or wider, so 2.0, 1.8, 1.4. If you just have 1.8 lenses, believe it or not, that is perfect. That's what I usually shoot for talking heads videos for YouTube using a Nikon Z6 Mark III. So if you like the way any of my intro portions of my videos turn out, it's shot at f1.8. So you don't need a 1.4. I probably wouldn't recommend it a whole lot, and then 1.2. And then obviously I have my shutter angle turned on to 180 degrees, okay? And again, some of these may vary depending on the maximum aperture of your lens that you own and the lighting, right?